There's some crazy rumors going on around about Hurricane Helene and the damage and the aftermath and what's going on in the North Carolina, Tennessee areas. What's some of the crazy rumors that you've heard going on? Everything from the cloud seeding to the looting to the polluting to the bodies everywhere. Tell me what's the craziest rumor that you've heard, and let's discuss that in the comments section. Hey friends, welcome back. I am Jason. Just returned from North Carolina on our last trip up there where we were doing good things. We were building bridges, we were helping people, we're organizing delivery of campers so people have homes again. Lots of good things were happening up there, and I just wanted to give you a quick update and let you know what I saw, what I experienced. I also want to talk about some rumors. One in particular is that cannibalism is happening in parts of North Carolina and Tennessee and places that are affected by this hurricane. Apparently, a rumor is going around that cannibalism is happening. There's bodies everywhere, and people are so desperate they've resorted to eating the bodies. And it is absolutely so ridiculous that someone would start some sort of rumor like this and that it's getting spread around. That is 100% not the case. Although I have not been in all places at all times, I can almost 110% guarantee that cannibalism is not happening in North Carolina or Tennessee or really anywhere affected by this hurricane. So please stop spreading that one around. It's so silly. The other one that's going around is that, the government's coming in and they're stealing everything. They're taking over everything. FEMA's there and they're snatching everyone's supplies and confiscating side-by-sides and all of that, and they're taking people's property. Eminent domain is wide swept over North Carolina, and they're just taking everything. Again, I did not experience any of this. I'm not saying that some of this is not true. I wasn't in all places at all times, like I said before, but I'm saying that I did not experience any of this. Now, I'm not saying the government can't take people's property for whatever reason they choose. Eminent domain can kick in and they can say, I need this piece of land for whatever reason. I want to put a memorial to the hurricane victims and survivors. And now they're taking everyone's land and calling it a memorial, and they're just confiscating people's properties. Or the road's been washed out in one area and they're redirecting the road. They're moving the road further to the east because that's where it needs to be built and people's homes are in the way. Definitely, 100%, that is going to happen to some degree, shape, or form. I don't think it's as exaggerated as what you're seeing on the internet. I don't think they're taking over in the entire state of North Carolina because of this storm. I don't think that's happening. I don't trust the government either. I trust nothing that the big government says or does. I don't want their help. I don't want them around. If they showed up, I would turn them away. And that's exactly what happened in the community center where I was volunteering. FEMA showed up and said, hey, we want to come in here, we want to help, we want to do these things, set up our base here. And everyone in the community center voted them out and said, no, we don't want your help. And they left, just like that. So I have not experienced anything from the federal government as far as confiscation, as far as, there's reports now that there's going to be basically war going on, that they've gotten approval to go and kill U.S. civilians. While that may or may not be true that they've got approval to do such things, that I have not experienced anything like that actually happening. I have not seen any confiscation. I have heard that FEMA and potentially National Guard, I don't know this to be true, but I've heard that FEMA has confiscated supplies from certain drop-off locations. Confiscated, I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe, just maybe, think about this, that the people that were in these centers that were collecting these supplies gave them permission to take the supplies. Maybe one individual at a higher level in this facility that was in charge of the area gave them permission. Nobody else approved it, perhaps, but that one individual gave them permission, so they went in and took the stuff. And it upset people in the community because they were giving the supplies to FEMA. What's FEMA doing with those supplies that they confiscate or are given or taken? I have no idea. They're probably trying to disperse it somewhere. It's probably not very efficient. It's probably wasteful to not some degree, but a lot of degrees. Most things, just about everything with big government seems wasteful, slow, inefficient. Back to the eminent domain thing. Yes, we talked to a guy from the DOT, he said that yes, they are going to, specifically in one spot that we were standing, we were looking at it. He said, yeah, we're probably going to take that house. That house is going to get removed. Not that there was anything wrong with the house. It was because the road needed to be repaired and fixed and possibly moved, rerouted a bit. That house was going to be in the way. And it was going to be easier for them to do that. Yes, it's 100%. That's going to happen in a lot of these situations. I just don't think it's as widespread as what a lot of people are talking about. In some situations, like I've literally seen creeks that have been completely rerouted. They used to flow this way, and now they're flowing this way, and then they eventually meet back up where they originally were. But unless people go in there with huge earth-moving machines and get these streams back to where they belong, which is going to happen in some situations, it's pretty incredible what they can do with some of these big machines. But unless that happens, they're going to have to redraw maps. People's property boundaries are going to be changing and stuff like that. It's going to be just crazy stuff happening for a long time. These rivers, the big rivers, are what used to be these green, lush, beautiful streams, rocky streams with big trees, huge trees overgrown and just sweeping over the stream and just wildlife everywhere, are now just brown, dirty, why there's no trees on the banks. It's just weird. It's weird to picture what it did look like before and what it looks like now. It's hard to imagine. It's just a brown, sandy, dirty mess, and there's nothing. All the trees are gone along the banks of these rivers. It looks nothing like what it used to. It's pretty crazy. Another thing, people got pissed off in one of my videos because I got political at the end of the video. That is the dumbest thing ever. I am the most anti-politics guy ever. What the statement was we had to stop all activities in our area. Airspace got shut down because the vice president and president flew over in a helicopter to take a look-see. And because I said that, so people on both sides got mad at me. Listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care if it was Donald Trump. I don't care if it was Kamala. I don't care who it was. It doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat. I do not care if you're flying over an area that is working on rescue missions and literally flying very necessary insulin to a person that's going to die very soon if they don't get what they need. You're shutting down the airspace and the rescue operations for a couple hours. I don't care who you are. I'm equally irritated with it. I've had nothing but positive interactions. I haven't had one negative interaction with fire departments, whether they be local or fire departments that have come from far and wide to come help in these relief aids. I've not had any negative interactions with police officers, again, local or from far away. I have not had any negative interactions with National Guard, nothing but positive. I have had zero interactions with FEMA personally. I haven't even seen FEMA other than they dropped off a shower trailer, a big trailer that is now operational. In my last video it wasn't. They had just dropped it off and it wasn't ready to go, but now people are using it. So they dropped off a shower in the Dollar General right next to the community center where all of our supplies and stuff were flowing in and out. So that's me. That's just my personal experience of what I have seen. I don't believe everything you see on the internet. Don't believe me. Don't believe, do your own research. Just because some guy on the internet, some talking head of the internet says something, doesn't mean it's true. Don't just full-heartedly go ahead and believe it without questioning. Most of the things that you're hearing on the internet are probably not true or exaggerated to some degree, or just completely all-out lies because people like to exaggerate stuff and get views. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm telling you what I have seen personally. I was there in North Carolina in some of the hardest hit areas. I went through Asheville yesterday. Parts of Asheville look unaffected completely. I shouldn't say that. There's trees and stuff down everywhere. It doesn't matter where you were in that area. You were affected by the storm to some degree. Still, power is a little bit shaky in some areas. The water is still questionable in Asheville. We went to a restaurant in Asheville that was still operational, but they didn't have any water. There was all bottled water and stuff like that. So, but parts of Asheville are destroyed. My buddy Tate was there when the flooding was happening, and he filmed some video of the flooding, and it was insane how big the river got going through Asheville. I mean, buildings were underwater. It was insane, and it's going to take a long time to clean up this disaster, this mess in that area. It sucks for all those businesses and stuff that were in that bottom land, in that river bottom. It's really bad. Looting is another thing that's been going around. Some rumors have been going around about looting. Yes, looting is happening. I did not witness it personally, but in the areas where I were, yes, some things were getting stolen at night. There's some gas cans and propane and stuff like that was left outside. Things were getting stolen. You know, they were left outside. People came and got what they wanted. I've heard in Asheville it was much worse, which I kind of expected Asheville to be worse. Any bigger city is going to have more problems because you got more people. And people see an opportunity to do the wrong thing and take advantage of a situation like this. There's going to be people that are going to do that. People were stealing TVs and generators and expensive things out of stores that were just because no one was going to stop them. So yes, the looting and stuff is happening because people suck sometimes. But where we were, in the smaller rural areas, smaller communities, very little of that was going on. But in the cities like Asheville, for example, yes, more of that was happening for sure. I've heard stories of, supply convoys getting stopped and tires slashed and holdups at gunpoint. I don't know if that stuff in Asheville. It wouldn't surprise me. There's some crazies in Asheville. That place is weird, even in the best of times. But I didn't witness that. I don't have any first account stories of that. I didn't talk to my friend that said, yeah, I was there. And I saw this. That has not happened. I have not witnessed that. And my good buddy that is from the Asheville area said that all the looting was happening at the bigger stores like Home Depot and things like that. Guys, that's all I have for you right now. I've got to get going. I'm actually leaving on a motorcycle trip. Just got home yesterday from North Carolina, working up there, and now I'm leaving on a 6-day motorcycle trip heading west. It's going to be awesome. Friends, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave lots of comments. Any comment will do. If you don't feel like talking about Hurricane Helene and what's going on, tell me what your first car was. I want to know what your first car was. Leave that in the comment section. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Share the video. Do the things. See you on the next one.